on 12's JM Squared for you with your key matchups for Week 4. Jackie Montgomery here with Jen Mueller. All right, Jen, this team coming off of 2 losses and they're looking to right the ship, and it's going to be a tough one with their first divisional matchup. So our first key matchup, it's going to be the 2 receiving duos against the opposing secondaries, obviously with Seattle, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. On the other side, you have Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. Now, hear me out. I know George Kittle is a tight end, but he is one of their top targets.
Well, let's go back to the Seahawks part of this one, right? It is definitely a pick your poison when you've got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett went off the first couple of weeks. DK Metcalf goes over 100 yards and scores a touchdown last week. They are going to be trying to get yards against a secondary in the 49ers that has dealt with a lot of injuries. Now, on the other side of this matchup, absolutely, you got to watch out for Deebo Samuel, who missed a lot of time last year with injuries, but right now he is the second leading receiver in the NFL, and we have seen the Seahawks struggle with some big name wide receivers the last couple of weeks, and George Kittle is a matchup nightmare. Now, he has missed some time practice-wise with a calf injury, but no doubt they are going to know where he is on the field. They're going to need to be able to stop him and hold him in check.
All right, now let's move on to key matchup number 2. You mentioned those injuries on the back end of the 49ers defense, but that front 4, they are looking strong, especially when you look at those edge rushers, a couple of first-round picks with Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. We're going to be matching them up against the Seahawks pass protection.
Absolutely. And of course, you are going to look at Nick Bosa right off the bat. He missed all of last year with injury, but he is coming back strong. He leads the team with 3 sacks. He's got 5 quarterback hits, 5 tackles for loss. But it's Eric Armstead that creates a lot of problems up front. Not the same type of flashy numbers, but he can be very disruptive. His 16 quarterback pressures are the 4th most in the NFL. That means Dwayne Brown at 36, he is going to need to be his dominant self. But there's a question at right tackle as to who's going to play. Brandon Shell is still out, but you wonder if Cedric Ogbuehi is going to come back or if it's going to be the combo of Jamarco Jones and Jake Curran that we saw last week. Either way, they're going to need to be on their toes to negate that pass rush.
And finally, key matchup number 3. It has been really a tale of 2 halves for both of these teams. So first half versus second half, which team is going to get it figured out for a whole game?
Yeah, and I think the numbers on this one are really interesting. Nobody in the NFL has been better at scoring points in the first half of games than the Seahawks. The flip side is no team has scored fewer points in the second half than Seattle. And we know what their defense has done, right? The first 6 quarters of the season, they look strong, but they have given up double-digit leads in the last 2 games. Now, on the other side of this one, San Francisco has started slow. Just 1 touchdown in the first quarter of games, but we saw last week they rallied late. It came up short against Green Bay, but still a dangerous team in the second half. Jackie, I think you're right. This comes down to which team is going to be the most complete team through all 4 quarters.
All right, we will find out on Sunday. You are heading to the Bay Area, so kickoff is set for 1:05 p.m. Pacific. You can watch it on Fox 13, or you can listen to this lady on the Seahawks Radio Network.